Nobody mentioned Taylor Heineke was going back to face the team again. 3 touchdowns. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Eagles Aftermath right here on DSM Media. Eagles, big victory, 40 to 29 over the New Orleans Saints. We're live on DSM Media, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Not on DSM's Twitter right now. Not sure what's up with that right now. We're working on it. We're trying to figure it out. I got an unstable internet connection here in the Poconos. I'm live from the Poconos. We might only go for like 20, 25 minutes here. I don't even think I can bring up the post-game press conferences. So we're going to do what we can. But as Adam says right here, another big win, all-around team effort. We got lots to dive into, lots to talk about as I try to share it out and, do what I do here. So big win. Like I said, 40 to 28, 29. Lots to talk about. But the thing I want to talk about first is just the fact that this is the second time that we've gone up against the number one rated run defense in the NFL. Earlier in the year, we did when Tampa Bay was still the number one rated defense against stopping the run. And what happened? We were able to run the ball with them in the second half. Yeah, Jason, picture is grainy. I'm sure it is. I'm up here in the Poconos. We just drove up for Friends Thanksgiving, second annual Friends Thanksgiving. My wife, my dog, our closest friends and their daughter and their dogs. We're all up here in the Poconos. We're going to have a good time. You're going to have to deal with some grainy pictures and some iffy internet from me for the next week on all the shows. Hey, it happens. Got to enjoy the holidays and celebrate them the best you can. So anyway, the Eagles, another week of running the ball heavily, another week against a really good rushing defense, and another week of super, super excessive success. 50 rushes today, 16 from Miles Sanders, 18 from Jalen Hurts, which we're going to touch on soon, 10 from Jordan Howard, 6 from Boston Scott. So 50 rushes to 24 passes. It's a hell of a lot of running the ball. And 242 yards, 3 touchdowns from Jalen Hurts. I mean, just shows exactly what it is and what I've been preaching all year long. This Eagles offensive line is built to run block, and they are taking advantage of that opportunity, and they're pushing forward, and they're doing what they do best. Super excited about that. I will say 18 rushes from your quarterback. The first half I listened to on the radio in the car. Second half I got to watch here at the house that we're renting here. And, they need to protect. I talked about it last week, and I've been talking about it for a couple weeks now. Jalen Hurts needs to be protected better. He needs to run the ball a little bit less. He needs to take less big hits. And, he's putting himself in a position where he can get hurt, and that could be a problem. Anyway, again, we're live on DSM Media. Forgot to say it. We're brought to you by Manscaped, the leader in men's grooming products. Make sure you check them out and use promo code TRENDING, the name of my main show, Trending for 4 Quarters, Trending at checkout. It gets you 20% off and free shipping, and it also lets them know that we sent you there. So Trending at checkout, 20% off, manscaped.com. Make sure you check them out. So, yeah, like I said, run. It's great. It's a great philosophy to have. But those 18 rushes from Jalen Hurts, it's something that concerns me moving forward. Where do we go from here? What do we talk about? The team effort. Jalen Hurts, he looked better. Still, again, passing the ball, 13 of 24, 147. No passing touchdowns, but also no turnovers. Really good, solid performance there. Miles Sanders back, 16 carries, 94 yards rushing. Not too damn bad for a guy that hasn't played in a couple weeks. Did have a fumble, had another ball that, could have been a little bit of a fumble there. but was ruled stop with forward progress. So we got to work on that. That is always an issue with Jalen Hurts or with Miles Sanders, his control of the ball. But he was off of a long layoff, so you got to kind of figure out whether that's a good thing or not. Jordan Howard, again, super dominant, 10 rushes, 63 yards. I mean, Jordan Howard's just playing out of his mind. Another big game from Dallas Goedert, 5 catches, 62 yards. Devontae Smith, 4 catches, 61 yards. My man, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, even got a catch for 23 yards. Hey, that's pretty darn good. I'm just happy to see my man J.J. get on the board. That's what I like to see big time right there. But if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, drop in the comments what you think after this big victory. 18 rushes, all obviously not by design, but some of them were. And he just needs to protect himself better. Slide a little bit more. Big play slide. We do have our first shout out. Another big pick 6 for him. That is fantastic. Yeah, Howard did get hurt later in the game. Darius Slay did get hurt later in the game. Again, traveling today. There's a lot that I missed today. The little finer details. That's why we're not going to go super long on this post-game show. I'll dive into it. And then tomorrow on Eagle Trending in the AM, Overreaction Monday, we'll get into a lot more of those details as that information comes out. I just want to talk positivity. We're 5-6. We are in the thick of the wild card playoff hunt right now. This team, I said 9-8, and whether 9 wins would get you in the playoffs or not, this team is showing a couple big things. They're stout up front on the offensive line, and they can push people around, and they can run the football. Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni have a really great game plan going on right now. Pound that football, and it's great. Like I said, there's a lot of positives to take away. I still don't think the formula. First it was way too one-sided offensively on passing the ball. Now it's way too heavy on the run. You got to find a little bit better of a balance. But I think that really comes from the fact that Jalen Reagor, he stinks. He did not score a touchdown like I said he would. My bad. Quez Watkins, he had 1 target today. Not sure what's up with that. Outside of Dallas Goedert and Devontae Smith, there literally is nobody for Jalen Hurts to throw to. So that's a concern going forward as we get closer to the playoffs. Yeah, Adam, I don't know about this. Even if they lose to the KC today, which they may, I got the game on the background, and they're moving down the field on the opening drive here. Dallas. Yeah, I'm not talking about division just yet. I'm just hoping to get to 9 wins right now, 5-6. That means they got to go 4-2 the rest of the season. Very doable. So we can get to that, as the weeks progress. Right now, I'm just trying to be positive on a good win, but be realistic. I think that's what today's about. Positive and realistic. We're playing against a New Orleans Saints team without Alvin Kamara, without Jameis Winston, Taysom Hill, 2 tackles, and a guard on their offensive line. You had to expect not the strongest of performances for the New Orleans Saints offensively. So you got to take that. And they still were able, with all those pieces out, they were still able to put up 29 points against our defense. Mark Ingram, who's been in the league for 11 years, the average life expectancy or a career expectancy of a running back in the NFL is like 2.5 years. He's been in the league since 2011 or 12, I think it was. It's a long time in the NFL. And he put up 88 rushing yards against us. Troutman, their tight end, 5 for 58 and a touchdown. I mean, again, we can't cover tight ends. So you have to be realistic when looking at this game. I did not think we were anywhere potentially possible putting up 40 points in any game this season. So that's a positive. Yeah, Jason. Jalen Hurts is showing progress every week. He is. He really is. But we have to pump the brakes and show realistic expectations, realistic positivity on this team. On paper, this game should have been a 40-14 blowout, not a 40-28 closer fought game. Was there anyone else to return kicks other than Ray? He can't do much of anything. I thought today would be a breakout game for him. It was not. My bad. Hey, it is what it is there. There's a lot of good positive things. This was a season of no expectations, and they're giving us hope and expectations. And I think that's a really big thing right there. It really, really is. I'm going to try to get the Eagles website back up here and see if we could do post-game press conferences. I don't know if the Wi-Fi will allow this to share a screen. We'll test it here. We got Lane Johnson at the podium. So we'll see if StreamYard and this really light thing works here. And we'll test it with Lane Johnson, who's at the podium. And then we'll go from there on this press conference thing here today. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, I got to unmute it. There we go.
The season didn't start off how we wanted. A lot of penalties, a lot of
the offensive line. I mean, is obviously playing fantastic at this point. And it goes to show. Last year we had the same, pretty much the same offensive line. Mailata, Driscoll with less experience. No Dickerson, but we had Sayamalu. It goes to show how consistency in an offensive line is so important.
No game's bigger than the next.
All right, so we're going to remove him for now because I don't need to hear too much from Lane Johnson right now. The offensive line is obviously a strength of this team. Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson, bookend tight end or tackles for quite a bit of time here on this team. Lane Johnson's on the second half of his career, but he's still. And now my Wi-Fi is starting to kick out again a little bit here. All right, so we might not be able to do press conferences here. Drains the Wi-Fi in this house, but the bookend tight tackles. That's just where it starts. Kelsey still doing great. Oh, we got a Jake Elliott shout out here. There's a reason why he's one of the top paid kickers in the league. We start to lose a little faith in him at the end of last season. Jake Elliott's still a clutch, strong kicker. It's great to have. Special teams won't win you a game, but it can definitely lose you a game. So having Jake Elliott, having Lavada as a great snapper there on special teams, very, very important. So I love to see that as well. But then you got Landon Dickerson, who is still coming to his own as a rookie. You got Jack Driscoll, who's coming into his second year here this year. He's playing great. I mean, honestly, Brandon Brooks will be back soon, most likely. And that's just going to make the offensive line even deeper. It's just so great and reassuring to see an offensive line stay healthy week after week after week and how great it could do for the running game. Again, 50 rushes for 242 yards against the number one rushing defense in the league. It's fantastic. Oh, we got some noise back here. Looks like Kansas City's marching down the field right now against our Dallas Cowboys. I like to see that. We want to see those Cowboys lose. So, where does this team go from here? This team needs to continue to build off this positivity. The Dolphins are killing our draft. That is correct. They're all of a sudden winning. Tua all of a sudden is back to playing good football. Yeah, that's kicking my butt too. That sucks right there. I said going into this game, I had 3 keys for this game. I said, key number 1, getting pressure in Trevor Siemian's face. Yeah, he scored some garbage points there late in the game. That rush, I mean, I can't believe he got that 17-yard rush for a touchdown there. I mean, nobody even touched him. He was 22 of 40, 214 yards, 2 picks, 3 touchdowns. But a lot of that yardage was late, garbage time, soft defense. So you had to get hands in his face. Now, while the Eagles did not get a sack, they did hit the quarterback 5 times. So they were getting pressure. They just weren't getting home. And that was all you needed. You just needed to get the pressure in his face. It's a concern that we can't get home. And we need to do better at that. But still, it's a positive thing there. Key number 1, you could check that, off as a success. Key number 2, I said, time of possession. Let me give you these time of possession numbers here. The Eagles had 37 minutes and 1 second where they controlled the ball on offense compared to 22.59 of the Saints. I think that's winning the time of possession battle. Check number 2. Next thing I said, turnover battle. Saints turned it over 3 times. We got 3 turnovers on our defense. To the Eagles, only 1. Check mark number 3. And I think those 3 keys to the game, it kind of just, that's why you won this game. Yes, it got close towards the end. But you win the time of possession. You win the turnover battle. You're going to win most games. And they just did that. And Trevor Siemian, he's not a great quarterback. The Saints are still a top-tier defense. And we just put up 40 points on them. So much positivity to come out of this game. I mean, they scored 29 points on our defense, but 22 of them were in the fourth quarter when we're playing prevent defense. I'm still not sold on Jonathan Gannon. I'm still not sold on his defensive scheme. He played a little bit more press coverage from what I could tell. Listened to it on the radio on the drive up here and a little bit afterwards. But his schemes, and maybe it's personnel. Maybe Jonathan Gannon earns another season and we draft 3 defensive players in the first round of the 2022 draft. Maybe that makes a difference. But, I'm still not sold 100% on him. But Nick Sirianni, again, calling the right plays. He's got this team believing right now on offense. And it's huge. There's a drive in the second quarter when I was driving up here. So I was hearing it on the radio. I was listening to Merrill Reese and Mike Quick on the radio. And it was when Jordan Howard really got going. It was late first quarter, beginning of the second quarter, and they just kept pounding the ball, 8 yards, 10 yards, 7 yards, 8 yards, 7 yards. And Nick Sirianni sees what works, and he sticks with it. And it continues to be a very positive feeling coming out of Nick Sirianni now. After the first few weeks, we just had a Kansas City touchdown, Travis Kelce. There we go. Beat those Dallas Cowboys. So Chiefs are up 7-0 now over the Cowboys. Like to see that, of course. Nick Sirianni is showing that he can learn to adjust on the fly. It's great. It's important. Love to see it. Just hope it keeps going forward. Because again, this post-game show can't go for very long. I don't have a co-host. I don't have any, press conferences airing. Got to get back to unpacking and stuff. But, there's one big deficiency if we get to the playoffs, but going into the offseason, that's going to be needed to be addressed outside of the defense is that Jalen Hurts, the reason why the 50-24 rush to pass works is because we got a great offensive line, but that's not going to work every single week. And the reason why they're doing it now is because they're realizing that there is nobody to throw the football to right now. There's a reason why there's only 13 completions. You have Dallas Goedert and Devontae Smith, and you got nobody else. We may have jumped the gun a little bit with Quez Watkins. He had a really good, preseason, really good camp, and he just can't seem to, make enough big plays. He's a great third or fourth wide receiver, in my opinion, but he's showing that he's not a starting outside wide receiver in the NFL. Obviously, Jalen Reagor, another game with a lot of snaps, but 3 targets and only 1 catch. Quez Watkins only had 1 target. Jalen Reagor still had 3 targets, 1 catch for -1 yards. Jalen Reagor, he's just not that. He's just not there. And I know it's only his second year, and you got to give these young wide receivers time, but he's just not there. There's just nobody for Jalen Hurts to throw the ball to. So eventually defenses will figure that out. They'll blanket Goddard, they'll double cover Devontae Smith, whatever it may be. They're going to take those 2 guys out of the equation, and there's nothing going on. I mean, even Boston Scott, only 2 catches. I mean, there's literally no screens, no bubble screens, nothing today with this offense. So we really need to, on top of the fact that our defense needs linebacker help, it needs, secondary help. We need a pass catcher. I know we have cap space. I know there's a loaded free agent class in wide receiver, but every week as we continue to go on and we start to win and get momentum, even though the positivity and the trending is going up with the Eagles, I got to say, I'm starting to lose faith and focus on where this way we're going to have to spend big in free agency and target not just one of the mid-tier guys, but I know Devontae Adams won't be a reach because he's going to go wherever Aaron Rodgers goes, whether it's stay there or whatever. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers or Devontae Adams, Allen Robinson, Cortland Sutton, those guys, we're going to need somebody because Jalen Hurts cannot fully complete his growth if he doesn't have weapons to throw to. Because again, you cannot have Jalen Hurts running 18 times. I would ballpark 9 of those 18 rushes were because he was scrambling, he kept rolling out, and not running at first. Then because nobody could get open, he took off for the first down. That's just what happens. Do I think Kenny Gainwell should get playing time? At this point, I mean, I'm surprised they only dressed 3 running backs instead of 4. Yeah, he should have some playing time. But when Jordan Howard's playing the way he is and Miles Sanders coming back, Miles Sanders is still an elite running back. I know he had the fumble and almost a second fumble today. Boston Scott, they seem to have more faith in him than Kenneth Gainwell. I mean, should he get playing time? Sure. But at this point, he's unfortunately the odd man out, and he's a rookie. He's young. It's okay sitting him here or there. Maybe some games you dress him over Boston Scott. I don't know. But no, I mean, what are you going to do? Maybe you dress him instead of somebody else and you dress 4 running backs. That's what I would have thought. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, he's the odd man out at this point, and you could see in the last couple of weeks his usage rate was going down anyway. So I'm not worried about Kenneth Gainwell long-term, big picture. But right now, it's obviously the Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard show with Boston Scott sprinkled in a little bit. That's where you got to go the next couple of weeks. I mean, we got 2 games against the Giants, 2 games against Washington, the Jets coming up before we close the season against the Cowboys. These are teams that we should beat all of them, if we're going to have any chance. But, they're not good teams. So, well, I'm sure Gainwell will have opportunities throughout the season to dress again. Almost thought, random just popped into my head because you asked that, Adam. maybe you play Jordan Howard another week and then you give him a week off to keep those legs fresh for those last 2 or 3 weeks as we get closer to the playoffs. I don't know. We'll monitor that and see what happens there in that situation. But I don't think it's an issue, and I don't think it's a concern if he does or doesn't get playing time. But what do we got going on? Defensive stand here from Kansas City. All right, there we go. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out there. Look, great win today. Again, 40-29. Eagles beat the Saints. We're doing a really quick, short Eagles Aftermath show here. I just want to continue positivity here. I'm looking at the defensive stats here. Again, TJ Edwards, 10 tackles, leading the team. 1 for a loss, a couple pass defended, huge interception. Rodney McLeod, Alex Singleton, Ant Harris with a bunch of tackles. McPherson a bunch because he came in for when Slay went down. Of course, again, Darius Slay, huge interception, pick 6. Even Fletcher Cox, a couple tackles, quarterback hit. A positive game. Again, going forward, we're going to want to see even more out of this defense if we want to have a real legit chance, making the playoffs. But, lots of positivity coming out of this game. Like I said, we're going to wrap this post-game show up really quickly here. Again, huge win. We're brought to you here at DSM Media by Manscaped, manscaped.com, leader in men's grooming products. Check them out, manscaped.com. The word trending at checkout gets you 20% off and free shipping. I don't know what else to say other than huge victory today, huge win, as expected, as needed. They are now 5-6 in the thick. Actually, real quick before we wrap this up, I want to check where this puts us in the playoff standings now at the moment. Here, let me bring up the NFL standings here. I know there's still 4 o'clock games and tonight's game and Monday Night Football to play. But let me check these standings at this moment, playoff standings in each conference. At this moment, the Eagles are listed still at 9th. There's still a couple teams ahead of us, but we're half a game behind San Francisco and New Orleans. We got the win over New Orleans right now. So that's really positive. We're tied with the Panthers, who we have the win. That's why they're below us. It's really positive. They're right there in the thick of things. Right there in the thick of things. The Rams at 7-3, man. The 5 seed at 7-3. That's crazy. So we don't really have a chance there. But the Vikings and Saints both at 5-5, the 6-7 seed. We are half a game out of the 6 seed even. So that's really positive, really good going forward. I love seeing that. Happy early Thanksgiving. Let's say that to all my Eagles Aftermath fans. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. I'll still be live tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday with Trending in the AM, 8:30 a.m. Tomorrow's Monday. It's Overreaction Monday. Tomorrow's when I'm going to go crazy and say we're going to make a deep run in the play. I don't know what my Overreaction Monday statements will be. Jeremy and I will be live. Trending for 4 Quarters will be Wednesday night, still at 9 p.m. And all the other jam-packed stuff here on DSM Media. Make sure you're tapped in and ready to roll, people. It's going to be a jam-packed week of giving thanks as well, because that's what it's all about. It's all about giving thanks this week. And my Overreaction Monday is going to be about giving thanks on Overreaction Monday. I'm going to be extra, extra thankful all day tomorrow, especially that Jalen Reagor 23-yard catch. First catch of the year, first target of the year. My man, J-Jaw, love it. All right, everybody have a great day. Go Birds, as I always say. Go DSM Media. And, I'll be live tomorrow morning. And this is super exciting point to be at in the season. The Eagles are now 5-6, trending in the right direction. Huge word right there. Love it. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Hey, and by the way, Dupe, go Union.